Welcome everyone to the Monday edition of the OTRSCentral Q&A. Thanks for tweeting your questions to @OTRSCentral. Let's get started. Harding Everett asks, is WWE racist enough to do R-Truth and Mark Henry feuding over the taste of fried chicken or watermelon? Wow, we're coming out of the gate swinging today. 20 plus years ago, I think they would have actually entertained the thought of that. Maybe they would have done it in a way where one of them would have stolen the other person's chicken or watermelon. So back then, I think they would have been that racist. I don't know if they're that racist now, and even if they are, I think they would have to at least have enough common sense not to do something that is so ridiculous and stupid. But this is the same company. Remember the Slickster's music video Jive Soul Bro, where he's chomping on fried chickens. And I wouldn't put anything past the WWE, frankly. I really, really wouldn't, but I do doubt it. Let's see here. Dexter C73 asks, has the WWE devalued the world title? That's been done for years and years, and that goes back to the Attitude Era, frankly. And has Lesnar made the WWE title less relevant? Uh, guess it depends on your perspective. If you wanted a special attraction type of champion who didn't defend all the time, then he probably has made it more relevant to you when you see him. If you think that, hey, it's okay if he's not there every single week, but to entertain the thought of your champion still not being on TV for a couple of months and not defending his belt, perhaps to the Royal Rumble, then perhaps it has made it less relevant because just like with so many other things in life, out of sight, out of mind. And if you don't see the WWE title, it's like it doesn't exist. And then he also asked, can the WWE sell a Lesnar feud with anybody on the current roster other than Cena? I don't know. That's a great question. We're going to find out, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure they can. Matt Meffe2, who would you rather spend an entire day with, Psycho Sid or the Breakfast Club? Psycho Sid? Psycho Sid, I think so. Let's see here. K Bear 2022. Whose podcast do you like? Um, let's see here. Monster does a really good podcast. I think people should listen to him. Uh, let's see here. Don Tony does a good podcast when he can ever get Kevin Castle to shut the fuck up and stop interrupting him. Um, I thought I had a bad habit of talking over people and interrupting people. I don't feel nearly so bad after hearing Kevin Castle. Holy shit. Sandberg 1. Where do you see Luke Harper and Eric Rowan in the next few months? OTRS Central, please, can you follow me? Sure. I'll follow you on Twitter for the time being. I'll give you a shot. Why not? And in terms of the next few months, I see Luke Harper somewhere in the mid card, uh, heading towards being off TV, and I see Rowan jobbing and heading his way off of TV. Let's see here. Let's go to the Owens. What wrestling storyline from any era you thought had the most potential but disappointed you? It's called the Invasion Angle. I waited years for that type of shit. And that's the shit we got. Beyond question to me, the most disappointing storyline in the history of the wrestling business. I don't even see how it could be close. People could talk about it in a newer sense, things like the Nexus or the WWE Summer of Punk in 2011, but those don't even sniff the butt cheese of the Invasion Angle and its level of sucking disappointment. It's Johnny Russo. Where did you live before Iowa, and have you ever been or plan on going to New York? I'm from Rockford, Illinois. That's where I spent the first 26 years of my life, so that's where I lived before I moved to Iowa. And as far as planning to go to New York, well, yeah, at some point in time. In fact, I plan on running the Fifth Avenue Mile next year up there in September. So as a result, I'm pretty sure the Schleg Daddy will be up in New York sometime in 2015. Let's see here. The one, the only JP. Excuse me. Let me get the Twitter handle right, huh? Do you have an Xbox One or a PS4, and will you plan on getting WWE 2K15 anytime in the future? I do not have either one of those gaming consoles. Maybe as I get a little older, I just don't have as much of a priority on trying to get one of them. I probably will at some point in time. You guys should tell me, should I get an Xbox One or a PS4? And I'm only going to get one of them at some point, and tell me why I should. If I did have one now, would I plan on getting WWE 2K15? Probably not. I'm just not a big wrestling gamer. If I was going to sit there and get games, it would probably be a Grand Theft Auto, uh, Madden, and then NCAA football. Maybe an NBA game mixed in there, maybe, and that would be about it. Maybe it'd be other things like Call of Duty and such. So let me correct that slightly, but that would be about it. Um, let's see here. American Alucard. Why is AJ Lee burying the Divas division? I don't know if she was burying the Divas division. I thought the WWE was burying the Divas division. How is AJ Lee burying the Divas division? Please tell me. Please tell me. Because I get the sense if she was doing the same thing as she's doing now, but in TNA, you'd love it. I'm just saying. Let's call it as we see it. But I'm confused as to what you mean by AJ Lee is burying the Divas division. Cyman City 2988. Fuck Mary Kill. Deborah the Cat or Ivory? Probably fuck the cat, Mary Ivory, kill Deborah. Let's see here. And he also asked if us in the UK got a Big Four pay per view and say Bad News Barrett is Money in the Bank winner, you think him cashing in the main event would work? Well, yeah, probably go over swimmingly. You'd almost have to, or book Wade Barrett in the world title match on that show, or have him be the champion going into that show. You'd have to do something revolving around Wade Barrett. Sagas Mike 87. Do you think Daniel Bryan will miss the Royal Rumble? His recovery from surgery has seemingly slowed down for the worse. I hope he's back in time for the Rumble because he would be a great surprise entrant. The concern I have about that, though, is that if you have Daniel Bryan become a surprise entrant in the Rumble, then the crowd unfortunately turns in a way that is not all that good because they will throw a big bitch fit if Daniel Bryan doesn't win the Rumble. See the Rumble from this year. So if I'm the WWE, even if he's ready to come back at Royal Rumble time, I'm not sure I want him anywhere near that Rumble match, and I might bring him back like the night after the Royal Rumble just to fuck with everybody. Because I also want to prevent having another Royal Rumble match be pooned because the internet darling, the hero to the common man, didn't win the match. I'm just saying. Because frankly, at this point in time, Daniel Bryan winning the Royal Rumble wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be the best thing for business. You could maybe have made that argument for 2014, sure, but I don't think you can for 2015. But that wouldn't stop people from crying about it, bitching about it, pissing and moaning about it. Let's see here. Hulko 10. I've seen some rumors about the Ascension forming a team with Bray Wyatt. What do you think of that? Are we trying to get Bray Wyatt over? Or are we trying to utilize Bray Wyatt to get others over? I think it's a serious question. I think Connor and Victor, the Ascension, their shtick could fit in with Bray Wyatt. I really think it could. But again, why would you split him off from Rowan and Harper just to saddle him with two other guys? That makes no fucking sense to me. It's we'll see what they do. I guess that's the best thing I could say. Let's see here. Cyanide Rain. Was WrestleMania 30 a missed chance for Alita versus Sunny versus China versus Missy Hyatt match? What? Where did you go with this fucking question? What is Sunny going to be doing? 8 balls of coke in the corner? Missy Hyatt going to be running a gauntlet of dicks she can suck? Oh my god. And also, who would win in a grudge match between Dixie Carter and Sarah Palin? I didn't know they would have a grudge match. Here's the way I would put it. Dixie would get it from me in the butt, and Sarah Palin straight in the mouth hole. There we go. How about that? Not the answer you were looking for, but I don't care. Uh, Aponte J. Smooth. With the RKO out of nowhere vines getting very popular, will WWE be forced to turn Orton face sooner rather than later? They've already been positioning towards that. They've already been going in that direction, and I've talked about this already in terms of what I would do with him and the potential concerns I have about him turning face. But yeah, they will have to go sooner rather than later. But I think they were already going to anyways as soon as Survivor Series, and it might be even sooner now. Mr. Tuxedo, what are your thoughts on the Randy Orton vines? Um, I believe I've already talked about this, and I might have answered this question actually in the last Q&A. But I think it's great that this is taking off. I think this is great that this is getting people to see something cool involving the WWE. I think this presents a real opportunity and a real chance to do something good with Randy Orton, repackage his character, present him in an entirely different way. As I've talked about before, I would personally make Randy Orton the walking, living, breathing, raw vine. Whereas he literally only appears for 5 to 7 seconds at a time just to RKO somebody out of nowhere. RKOing somebody out of nowhere in a match is one thing, but RKOing somebody, backstage for the fuck all of it, that's cool. Imagine if you see Adam Rose and the Rosebuds, and all of a sudden Orton's one of the fucking Rosebuds. You find out, and he RKO's the bunny just because. Let's say you've got somebody stretching backstage, and Orton RKO's him just because. This is a tremendous way to generate some new interest in Randy Orton, or a tremendous opportunity to do something different with Randy Orton doing something like this. And it also buys you time to do it for the time being and really try and get him over like a monster as a babyface, make him something different, gives some type of spontaneous feel to Raw, like people will actually sit there and want to watch more of because they just want to see who Orton is going to RKO. Like you could even have him sit there and be backstage with somebody, like let's say Kofi Kingston. This would work so well. Maybe Orton apologizes for the treatment in the past, and Kofi's like, well, that's cool, man. I'm glad you're not going to RKO me. And then he just fucking RKOs him. Everybody and anybody can potentially be RKO'd. Face, heel, ring crew, doesn't fucking matter. Just that's what you do. It would work. It would get over like $1,000,000. And it would buy you time to figure out what direction you want to go with Randy Orton long term as a babyface. But this is setting the table, setting the stage. It wouldn't even necessarily have to have Orton wrestle right away. You're interweaving him enough in the product that I think this could work tremendously well. At least that's my opinion. So anyways, thanks to you guys that submitted your questions for this Q&A. I appreciate it. I'll be back Wednesday for another Q&A. Stay tuned all week long for more content here on OTRS Central. And coming up soon, we'll begin the Survivor Series review series, which will be the last of the Big Four review series that I have to do. So when that is getting ready to begin, I will make sure to take to Twitter, to the Facebook, and etc., and even mention it on video to let you know that series is beginning. But it's coming up, and it's coming up very soon.